A frozen wasteland, haunted by the undead and the dying. What is there to do but survive through the graveyard of horrors and a garden of bones?
So Grim's getting to speak with animals, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I'll cast a spell and I'll finally be able to communicate with Wolf or Fang or whatever their name is.
She speaks English.
Yeah, but can you say that we truly communicate with each other?
That's
we just don't really get along. I don't even know this bitch.
We need a therapist. We need a family therapist.
All right. So welcome to Tales of Bones and Ice, a horror comedy podcast where Brian tries to try not to kill us too hard, and we try to laugh along the way.
That's cute.
You have myself playing Condemned, the Goliath fighter, with a mysterious past and a sick face tattoo.
I'm Grim. I play Cukunkana, a Kalistar druid. We're level 2, baby! I'm gonna talk to some animals the next time I see an animal. And, yep. I hope everyone has a great day, podcast world.
Killing it.
Yeah, you know what? You're the one who asked for this, so you know what? Come over here and fight me.
These a-holes may be stupid, but I'm stupider. I'm Marilyn, and I play Meris, the resident bad boy golden dragon paladin, golden dragonborn paladin.
All right, now everybody, roll your bones.
I already rolled mine because you told me to roll it earlier, and I've just been sitting on this 16 for 5 minutes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ooh, 11.
8.
Yes.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
the person who takes notes and pays attention.
I took really good notes last time, but I'm not gonna lie, there's like one sentence here where it says feathers, man with dowah shin woo, and then I don't know if you guys can see this, but it literally goes, it goes man with shoutada woo.
What the fuck?
What? I think that was about the Aarakocra.
All right, so this is the perfect time for me to roll low because for the first time I took no notes and did not listen to the entire session right before or at all, actually.
You're too busy being cute with your partner.
Basically, yeah.
Too busy being gay.
That's my job.
I'm the only person. I'm the only player whose job isn't to be gay. Actually.
Yeah, he's the token straight, Brian.
Every podcast needs a straight white man.
Don't erase his heterosexuality. There's no heterosexuality erasure here.
I am here to just from the man, just to like check in, just to see how it's all progressing.
Brian's queer baiting everyone. He's like, oh.
He's watching the gay agenda, so we can report back to the straights.
We've given up on trying to stop it. We're now just mostly keeping track of it, like a lava.
Sure.
Yeah,
like
too wild.
Like a lava flow.
Have they added anything to the acronym lately?
Yeah,
fuck.
Girl, honestly,
we're running out of space on the business cards at this point, and we're concerned.
Running out of letters in the alphabet.
It came up recently. The alphabet mafia is the new term for like the queer community, and I was like, fuck yeah. Alphabet Mafia.
So we resumed right after the fight with the ice wolves. We set off to go and get to the next waypoint because we wanted to put a little distance between ourselves and the wolves before we took a short rest. First thing that happened, Cukunkana offloaded her skull onto Condemned because that's what marshals are for, is carrying things. She very condescendingly tried to teach Fang how maps work.
Oh yeah, bitch! I love that.
Along the way, we encountered what appeared to be for us in the real world, but very much not for our characters, regular wolf. And we freed it, and it thanked us in common, which made Cukunkana's day. So then we went out, had a short rest. Condemned went off and did what I believe the rest of the group has interpreted to be weird swordman things, I think was the term.
He was practicing veganism.
Yes,
right,
that's what it was.
That's it. Was practicing veganism.
You can hear my confusion about my own statement when I was like, huh, I didn't know he was a vegan, and I'm like, how the fuck did I? Why?
Who told you about vegetables?
Yeah.
Who told you
said
about vegetables? It certainly wasn't Cukunkana.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I hate vegans? Anyway.
But yeah, so we went out, did some contemplation, came back, and the aura of like kind of weirdness that he'd had seemed to have worn off a little bit. We trekked a bit further, made camp. Meris attempted to teach Cukunkana how to have watch. This did not involve either of them making perception checks, so you guys be the judge. Finally, when we were all asleep at the same time, we had the D&D shared dream experience where we woke up in an inn in what appeared to be a more classical D&D setting, which we are assuming is before the big freeze. Spent way too long dicking around before going up the stairs that Brian desperately wanted us to go up.
Yeah, we were like, how about we do everything else except for go where you need us to go?
So we went up the stairs. There was 4 doorways. 3 of them had a symbol that was representative to each of us. Cukunkana was the first to go through after commenting on the fact that Condemned's sweet face tattoo was a label because he murdered somebody. And then she got super awkward and decided that whatever was through the door was better than sticking around for this.
I forgot.
Her conversation was where she met her Corey, who is like 6.5 feet tall. Basically said that she wants to try and reverse what was done to the big freeze. I can't remember what the Corey's name is.
Fix the world. It's Maha.
Condemned went through his door and he spoke to a teacher from his past called Femur Shaper, who he expressed some regret for, and she expressed some hope that basically he was a hopeless shit before, but he might be a shit with some promise to get to be less of a shit later, which hits very deep for me as a human being, so that's my life story. Meris was third. They spoke with their departed grandfather and had a very tearful conversation that was a stark contrast of like actual decent dramatic and serious tone after Grimm's like window screen pausing while talking to her Corey and my out of character joke about my mentor's blindness. So all right, then we woke up and there is something coming and Fang wants us to go because we overslept by like 3 hours.
That's how it ended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, Fang's a bro for, like, hanging out for those 3 hours instead of just leaving us chuckle buddies in the tent.
Chuckle buddies in the tent.
Fang remembers what happened the last time that she wandered around without someone to hold
That's
her
true.
hand.
She would have gotten lost.
Immediately.
Chuckle buddies.
I didn't want to do a curse.
You're allowed to curse. This isn't
I didn't
your
want to do a curse.
show. Well, fuck you. Fang, opening the tent and yelling at all of you, come on, you guys have overslept, we gotta go, now! You can, as the 3 of you sort of awaken from your slumber, you can all feel that there's a rumbling on the ground, and there seems to be some sort of aggressive sort of vibrations that are moving all the stuff around in your tent, and you have to pack up as fast as possible, like get the fuck out of Dodge. But you cannot see what it is, but you can hear many different large footsteps that seem to be walking across the way, seemingly getting louder and louder.
Cool. This feels like time for a nature check.
I mean, you can do a nature check, sure.
Or could I do survival, maybe, if this is something that Condemned might have encountered or heard of?
History would be a better way to go about that one.
Lame. Okay. That's like very fair.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to do it then.
That is bullshit and fair.
okay. How dare you make this fair ruling? All right. Well, 2. So
No idea. You cannot recall if anything like this has occurred in your past or otherwise, or that you've heard of.
all right.
You guys are still all in the tent, by the way.
Did Fang have the foresight to at least pack some of our stuff while waiting?
Yes.
Okay, great.
The things that are not packed are your bedrolls and the tent. But
Okay.
as they are telling you, like, come on, we gotta get the hell out of here, you can just see her shooting arrows off to the right side of the tent.
Okay. Suka kind of puts on all of our layers as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Condemned gets up and exits the tent and begins packing.
Are you adventurers that wear their armor to sleep, or do you prefer a little comfort when you're trying to lay?
I wear mine to sleep because Grandpapa told me to be wary on the road.
That sounds uncomfortable.
I believe that I asked on episode 1 or 2, and it was confirmed that we're just sleeping in our armor generally.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to double check.
You can remember? You can remember anything we've already talked about?
I definitely remember things that involve how fucked I am if we're ambushed in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Good call. So as you step out of the tent and you take a look to the right, you can see a gigantic, humongous, long, sort of orange and black colored. The difficult and easy way to say it is that it looks like a long disfigured finger that has lots of different polyps on the bottom that are walking it forward, and they're going to demolish the tent pretty quickly.
Is it like the same hand that was in the tavern from our dreams?
It's only finger shaped. It's not actually a finger.
So it's like a cucumber. Why's it gotta be a finger?
You know what? You're right. You know what a cucumber is.
I've seen
It's
one.
that thing that those fucking vegans eat.
God, fucking vegans.
Gonna turn to Candor and be like, I assume that you can take care of that.
You haven't even come out of the tent yet.
Sukunkana's running, by the way. As soon as she saw that, she ran immediately. She ditched anything that was left in the tent, the bedrolls, the tent, whatever, and she just ran because she's like, we don't have fucking time for this, and she's running.
Yeah, if there's no time to pack up the tent, then Condemned would be running as well.
If fuck the tent, yeah, what can I grab in time?
Give me a perception check real quick.
I'm not good at it.
Condemned would have grabbed his bag, though, from inside.
Yeah, she would have grabbed her bag.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a 1.
Can't see anything. You don't know where anything is.
Yeah, I'll leave it all.
You just grab your bag and you run out of that room.
That's fair. That does feel on brand.
As the three of you run out, Fang just looks at all of you like, you... And she runs back into the tent, and she is rummaging around while the three of you run.
Well, what is she fucking... She told us to run. What the fuck does she want from us?
Yeah, this is what we call Darwin.
I'm gonna run back and I'm gonna go, you're giving us mixed signals!
Just grab your bedrolls.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And she grabs 2 bedrolls and she runs out. And since Cukunkana ran super far away, probably super fast, and did Condemned follow along with her, or did you stick around the tent area?
Okay, well, when you did that, I was under the impression, and I'm going to say that Condemned was under the impression that when you said that it's about to crush the tent.
Yeah, I thought it was right at that second going to crush the tent. There was no time to do anything.
Yeah, that was so my impression, and I'll say that Condemned's impression for the sake of continuity was that it was seconds away. This is kind of you look out and there is an avalanche coming towards you style.
That's what I thought.
As opposed to it's going to in 30 seconds to a minute.
Oh yeah, that's my bad. I should have been more descriptive. But also I just ran with Cukunkana, just booking it out of this bitch as fast as possible.
I thought it was it was about to crush us at that second. You're underneath Godzilla's foot and you need to go now.
And in this moment, Brian realized he was Fang, and we were immediately defensive and angry. For really no good reason. Fuck you!
See, here's it makes sense, though, for Cukunkana to run the way that she did.
Yeah.
Regardless of how close it is.
She's thoroughly aware of the fact that she will die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? At the end of the day, Condemned's tent is attached to his bag, and I think it makes sense for Condemned to look up at immediate danger approaching and being like, I would rather have an extra 30 seconds of distance between me and this than if I get to sleep moderately more comfortably tonight.
Meris, you run back inside to help Fang?
Yeah. Is there any chance that I can also just kind of grab the tent and just drag it behind me like a baby with a big blankie? Or is it staked in?
So I'm going to say, do me a strength or an athletics check.
I got a 12, 8 plus 4.
Okay. Do you just start trying to pull this thing when Fang is inside because you're just like panicking, or are you going to wait until she's like outside?
Well, I was going to wait till she was outside and then just like, if I could, just kind of like grab it like just the tip and see if I could rip it out of the ground.
Okay, so you do manage to rip the tent out of the ground, but you don't manage to rip the stakes out, so they are still stuck in, and there's a bit of rips at each corner of the tent. But you do have the tent and the bottom of it, and the contents of the tent are inside of it.
Oh shit,
So
okay.
if you want to keep running, you will be able to run, but you'll be running at half speed.
I'll do that for a second until I can, in case the thing starts getting up on my shit.
Okay, so Fang notices that you're struggling, and she runs over, and she also like grabs on. She's like, I get it. Let's go. Come on. And then she starts dragging it with you as best she can. Holding, now she has the two bedrolls that she has in her hands, grabbing onto like the side of the tent, and she's pulling with all her might, and she's much weaker than you are, but you definitely notice that you can run maybe about 2/3 the speed of your normal speed with this thing.
Perfect. Thank you.
You can feel the ice underneath all of you is really rumbling deeply, and you can look over and you can see that the polyps from the bottom of this thing seem to be crushing the ice with the weight of it, and there's like an innumerable amount of sort of legs and feet that are sort of walking this thing along the frozen tundra at a time, and it doesn't look like it has sort of a intent to destroy anything. It just simply walks along any path that it happens to be on at any given time.
Okay.
First question, what's a polyps?
Like a boil.
Ew.
Yeah.
Second question. So this thing is approaching towards us, right?
Yeah. It's approaching towards the location of where the tent is. Or the was.
Right. Okay. So are we doing the Prometheus school of running away from things, or should we try to run out of its path?
Is it doing like a straight shot?
We could try running out of its path and see if it's after us or if it's after like
Yeah.
or if it's just fucking going for a walk, you know?
It's either smelling the blood in the water or it's just like, going for a walk and oopsie.
Yeah.
I crushed some things.
I think if anyone would have that idea, it would probably be Connie. So if Connie shouted the instructions to Cukunkana, she'd probably do it.
Right. I will say that once Condemned has looked over his shoulder and seen that the creature doesn't look like it might be hunting them specifically, he will shout out, "Go to the right! To the right! Get out of its way!" and start drifting over to the right and hope that he is correct about that.
Cukunkana will listen and also run to the right. Without even looking back, she just trusts you. She just starts running to the right, not even looking back.
Really hope that this doesn't kill us all.
Fucking might.
Like, you had 50-50 chance and you fucked up.
Yeah.
I assume that I'm gonna look over at Fang and be like, you heard the big bitch, let's go.
Okay, all right. So she helps drag that in that direction as well.
Also, is this thing catching up to the two of them?
It's not quite catching up to them, but it definitely is close to the point at which it will about one turn amount at this point away from where it would have completely crushed everybody.
Right, but they're more or less keeping pace ahead of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just it's going to be a photo finish.
2/3 of the pace.
So as this thing is continuing to walk by, the two of you sort of barely manage to get just out of the way of this giant thing's feet.
Ew.
Barely managing to swing the tent just in front of you to preserve what you have left of it as it walks by and does not make any alteration in its path and simply walks forward.
Okay, now that we're a little bit closer, what does it look like? What's its texture? Does it have smell?
All right, so it smells
Is it a kraken?
awful. It is not a kraken. Here, I'll see if I can find a decent image of it.
Oh my god, Brian.
So, it is basically
A starfish with a huge dick.
big, gigantic-ass starfish finger. So that is part of what's called a zombie starfish. They're a phenomenon that happens on the coast of BC, British Columbia, in Canada. And some starfish will detach parts of their body and send it off to try to make a whole nother starfish.
Can I do a nature check on it?
You can, but the way that starfish walk is not like they don't like move their arms and like move themselves around. They have little things on the bottom that walk them around, and you can see that what your character would not know, but what you as a person would know, it is walking on those things.
I'm getting flashbacks to a couple of months ago when Brian was like, oh, I've been watching so much like nature documentaries, and I was like, oh, I get that, but now I get it. Fuck you. I'm gonna watch Blue Ocean just to prep myself.
Yeah. You were saying you wanted to do nature check?
Yeah, maybe Cukunkana knows what starfish are.
Also, if it looks like that, and we just got out of the finger or the cucumber part of it, does that mean that there's a wider section behind that we should be getting out of the way
Not
of?
with this one. It's just the
Okay.
long bit, the finger-looking bit.
Okay,
Oh.
good. All shaft, no base. Got it.
All right.
Just how I like it.
Is that really what you wanted to say?
I'm gonna go put myself in timeout corner.
Yeah.
I'll be back in 5.
I can see the regret.
Off she goes to horny jail. Anyway.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like a store-bought joke, and then I was like, I don't like that. Nothing is good.
Okay, what'd you get on your nature check?
I rolled it in D&D Beyond. Don't you always look at that?
Still gotta say it out loud.
Yeah, nerd.
You know, this is an audio medium. We're on a radio.
Oh. Look, I forgot. Okay, I got a 12.
All right. So you can tell that this is some sort of ancient sea life, and it's not something that your Corey spirit has showed you very often, but it is something that you have seen once a very long time ago. But you don't know the name for it.
Okay, all right.
You probably don't know the name for cucumber either.
She just mentally catalogs this information while she's running. Says nothing. This information does not help.
So
Yeah, condemned does not stop, but once it is clear that they're out of the thing's path, he does run back to Fang and to Meris, and he kind of loops around behind, or I guess in front, actually, picks up one end of the tent and then starts running continually away, so they are moving faster now.
that makes sense. Cukunkana, can you give me a wisdom plus proficiency roll for your cartography stuff real quick?
So it's +6.
I'm just going to press the wisdom save button because it accomplishes the same thing. I got a 16.
Hey.
You are able to manage to just sort of remember the triangulation of where you were versus where you are, so you do not wind up having just run off into the middle of nowhere and having gotten everybody lost.
And while she's thinking about it, can she take out her star map? Which I feel like she would have had, like, a basic knowledge, like, fed into her brain in her sleep.
Yeah, so here, you want to do a little fun stuff with it? Do you want it to appear in your hand, like a little crystal thing?
Yeah, like I want, like, while she's thinking about, she's like, okay, I need to keep track of where I am. How am I gonna do that? You know, and then we can magic it up. Yeah.
You take a look around and you have a moment of clarity, and you sort of put your left hand out, and a small crystal forms from the palm of your hand into sort of a diamond shape. Think like the Final Fantasy crystals, you know, the iconic ones that everybody knows about. And you speak, what's the word for fire again?
Well, actually, I know the word for stars.
Yee.
So she kind of like looks at it, and I feel like her eyes like glaze over a second. She says, "Akechnuros."
Oh, that's dope.
That's
So
a cool word.
badass.
Thank you.
As you say that, a sort of Tony Stark-esque field map of the stars in relation to where you are currently standing and what you are currently looking for appears in front of you, and you have the innate ability to understand and read where everything is, so you can find your way much easier than you could before.
That's so cool. Cartography's so cool.
Hell yeah. She's gonna be the first person of this era to start making star maps that nobody else can read.
And you're gonna make some fake ones just for like the shitty tourists.
These are moon letters.
What direction are we running?
So you took off in sort of a northern direction in regards to where you were going before.
She locates the northern star, which would obviously be in the star map, and she starts, I guess, running in that direction. I don't know if she knows that's where she needs to go, but she's like needs a direction to be running in.
I believe that you were going north anyway, so you guys are able to. You're just gonna keep sprinting, like in fear.
Yeah, she's just gonna keep running until the thing stops chasing.
Well, we veered
them.
off the path, so it went past us, right?
Yeah, but we are still... I would imagine that we are probably... Well, Condemned is certainly doing a brisk caution jog, he would describe it as. Because, yeah, there is absolutely no reason for them to be any closer to this thing than they need to be.
It's called fear jogging. It's a good workout. It's a great way to say it.
I'm a woman. That is what I call it.
Fear jogging.
No matter.
No. That's too sad.
Ooh, too real.
Yeah.
That's rough.
What is the creature doing?
So it's just walking in the same direction it was going.
So it's not coming after us?
No.
Okay.
And it's not walking in the direction of Continuance.
No, it is simply walking from the east location that you guys were warned to not go to the west location.
Is this why we were warned, I wonder?
So we should probably... I wonder if we should now go back and turn that sign around.
Nah. We'll do it on the way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Cukunkana probably looks back and sees that it's not actively chasing them, and is going to sort of like use her arm to like kind of point to further to the right where they can like meet up, you know, so they can all be in a group again.
Is there like a specific location, or are you just indicating that we
Well,
should...
no, just like she's just going to run like a little more diagonally so that they meet up eventually while still running.
So she's gonna zigzag.
No,
Well,
she,
yeah.
look, have you all ever seen a triangle before?
No, we understand, but the thing is that I think we're all... Oh, I see what you mean. Because she was... because Cukunkana was out ahead of the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. It's because fucking Grim actually has a sense of direction and a map inside of her head while the rest of us are just fucking idiots.
Yeah, so she's in front.
Okay.
So she's gonna run like kind of at a diagonal angle, so they're still making distance, but so that they can meet up while not
Yes.
stopping, because stopping
Okay.
seems like a bad idea.
Makes sense.
I would ask Fang if if that thing appeared to be heading towards their town, but then I realized that she wouldn't know. So
Oh, because she's lost.
She notices a look on your face, but she doesn't pursue it because they're in the middle of something else.
that's fair.
We're in the middle of something right now.
kind of is.
I'm dealing with a problem.
So everyone converges eventually.
Yeah, I feel like it's not too difficult of a thing to convey, so eventually everyone catches up with Cukunkana. Does Cukunkana like stop, or do you sort of like just keep like speed walking?
We're still running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we ain't stopping for this thing.
Okay, so give me a perception check, everyone.
14.
Samesies.
Aw.
Good.
Aw.
I got 25.
Fucking druids versus marshals.
Okay. The two of you are able to see that you can feel significantly less vibrations on the ground. I don't necessarily think that you two look around or look back. You're mostly focused on moving forward. Whereas Cukunkana fucking like eagle vision is able to see where this thing is going. It's very far away. She can tell that it's not going to be turning around anytime soon. It's sort of fading into the mist that you're all pretty comfortable with at this point. And it's not coming in your direction.
Right, I forgot about the mist.
Sukun kind of looks over and she says, "All right, I think we're good.
Condemned slows down to a stop.
Sukun is like still poised as if she's ready to start running,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Fang looks over to Meris and says, "Okay, I know I didn't give you much in the way of information and that we had to go, but it would have not been smart of you to have left your maul inside the tent when we left. I was getting bedrolls and I wanted to grab that too. I just thought it's hard to decide. I made the decision to grab the bedrolls. If we freeze to death during the night, there's no fight left. You can always fight with your fists, but you can't always survive a night on the frozen wastes."
That is fair.
We actually have tents in our bags as well, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know that.
No, it's...
My tent was just the nicest one.
Oh, she's very...
Maybe not anymore.
It's ripped now, though. Not anymore, but like, hey, like tomato. I mean, we got spares, so.
Oh my god, I literally didn't think, like, I thought to myself, I'm like, I wonder if Grim would think that it's a good idea to pick up, like, a utility, like, thing, like mending or something. Like, nah, it probably won't come up. It probably won't come up.
I thought about it.
Condemned wants to check on the tent now, actually, to see what it looks like.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Sure.
I also want to do that because it's my
And
turn.
I was just gonna
Who's
tell
got
Fang.
proficiency with investigation?
Oh, so my primary is living materials for bones, and then my secondary is textiles. Can I use, like, instead of investigation, can I use, like, proficiency plus wisdom for my professional knowledge of fabrics and shit?
Yeah, I think I'm also use textiles as well for cartography because I feel like textiles because like a lot of it because there's no paper in this world because there's no like trees, so a lot of it would be like parchment and leather based. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Both of you are proficient in that, so one of you can give the other advantage if you want. And we're going to cover more of the stuff that they're talking about when we get back to Thrive.
I keep forgetting about it.
I feel like Connie would have more practical skills, so it makes sense for Connie to make the roll and have advantage.
That makes sense, particularly for tents. I don't know if Cukunkana has ever needed to sleep in a tent in her life.
No, absolutely not.
All right, let's see what we get here. Please be nice to me. Blue and white. Okay, so that is 11 plus 3 if I'm using my wisdom, so 14.
So you can tell that it's just the four corners that are ripped, but it's along, two of the sides are along the seam. So it's going to be, like, it'll be pretty easy to fix, but the other two where it's not along the seam, that's going to be more trouble to deal with.
But it's fixable,
fixable.
which is important. Because resources are limited.
Resources sure are limited.
I'm gonna turn to Fang and I'm gonna say, honestly, you were totally right just to wake us up, like, whenever you could. I thought that, you know, I would be better prepared in emergencies, but I guess you don't really know what you're gonna do until you do it or don't do it, you know?
I come out here, and it might not seem like it, but I travel from place to place. I survive as best I can, and I'm much like you guys, I think, in that my community sends me out to do jobs, and I return, and it's difficult to return when, you know, you lose someone, because where I'm from, they don't take kindly to losing resources, and unfortunately, where I'm from, people are a resource.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I mean, people are resources, though, like, in general.
Yes.
Like, for example, Connie's really, really strong, right?
Yes.
And being strong is a good resource, right? I'm not very strong.
So I'm a bad resource.
But I can, like, make a fire, and she casts Produce Flame. And she's like, and that's resourceful also. Like, the thing is, like, in theory, maybe we could get away without one or the other person, but it would be a lot harder, right?
It is the job of each member to contribute to the greater whole. It is only natural to see people as resources.
But whether you're a resource or not, you're not expendable. You've got stuff.
That's exactly the way that they see it, which is why it's going to be difficult for me to return, because resources are not expendable. But I have to go back.
Precisely.
Well, it's not like you killed them.
Did you?
I did not.
Yeah, did you kill them?
Oh, okay.
Insight check.
I want to see if there's a tattoo.
Yeah, everybody insight.
Yeah.
19, motherfucker. Spill your secrets.
She did not
I
kill
got
them.
6.
Okay.
She did not kill them. As far as you're concerned, Grim, you have no idea. This could be a murderer.
I got a 7.
Same, Meris.
2 of them now.
Yeah.
Well, while they're talking, Grim starts like rolling up their bedrolls and collecting stuff and packing it as quickly as she's possible. And she's like, I don't think we should stick around too long. We don't know if that thing's gonna loop back or not, so we should get going.
Good call.
That's a really good call.
Yeah, let's,
I don't mean to say so shockingly.
that's good. Wow, that's a good idea.
On this child.
Man, I am teaching this baby well.
Yeah.
We should have more sleepovers, you and I.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get out of here then. Cukunkana, do you know where you're going?
Cukunkana, she says, absolutely, and she gets out her star map and makes the holographic star protection.
Fuck, that's cool.
Did you have that before?
No.
Fang's eyes widen like, what the fuck? What is that?
And she turns to Meris and she says, remember when I was trying to describe the Akishnuhus, the stars, when we were having our sleepover?
Yes. I don't, Marilyn.
Marilyn doesn't remember.
But Meris, I'm sure.
It was only yesterday.
What do you mean? 'Twas only a night ago.
And so she says, this is them. This is the stars. This is the Akisnuhus. They're, and she points up at the clouds up in the sky, and she's like, they're up there. And this is exactly where they are, but here.
Are those and a giant ice monster comes out of the ground and kills Grim before she can see the stars.
Cukunkana,
God
Brian.
damn it!
No, you in real life, you die. You die in real life.
I'll get this.
We'll recast. Yeah, Meris is gonna put her face like really close to those stars and just be like, "Whoa!" So those are up. Those are right now happening.
Yeah, these are the ones that are. This is the position of the stars that are above us right now. That remember I told you they're like giant burning fires in the sky that are a million billion like I don't know what kind of fantasy unit of measure are we using? Parsecs?
Nara starts counting on her fingers.
What's the nautical term?
Yalms?
Yeah, leagues, because you clicks and leagues, nautical miles.
She's like they're thousands of millions of billions of leagues away, and they're out there and they're burning, and they have been forever, and now I can see them. And with this, and she points at them, she's like, you see this one? This is the North Star. This star is always going to be to the north of us. So using this, we'll always know what direction we're going, and so I can always find where we are, even if we don't have any landmarks. I mean, in theory. I've never done it before.
You are very handy. Oh my god.
Yeah! Talk about resourceful, right?
Damn, talk about resources. Fang, am I right?
Fang is like fucking like jaw on the floor, shocked at what's going on. I've never seen anything like it before. That's
no one has, except me.
See, this is benefit of having Vitch.
And Fang, she's not crazy.
I feel crazy right now.
Yes.
What'd you call me?
So Cukunkana is going to right herself and try to figure out how to get them back on track of where they were going to Continuance.
It is surprisingly easy.
Excellent.
Because we took a slight right.
Yes.
Okay, so you look at the map and you have it out and you sort of take a second to really reorient yourself. It's a lot easier than you thought it would be, and you manage to walk yourself back onto the exact same path that you were walking on before, using the triangulation of where you ran from to where you are to where you're going, and you're able to continue back on your pathway.
So Cukunkana is secretly really good at like math, like, you know what I mean? It just never comes up.
Living in that fantasy world where I'm good at math.
Yeah, living in that fantasy realm, she's doing like calculations in her brain. I'm like, okay, we went at this degree for at this angle for this long. I'm using the Pythagorean theorem or something. I don't know.
That old wizard Pythagoras.
It's what that +2 int gets you.
I like that you did fantasy where you're like
Yeah.
good at math, and I did a self-insert where I'm just hot and dumb. But golden.
I was like, it's pretty much the same, except in this one you have scales and are gold.
Well, sometimes my feet get really dry.
And I would like to note that Cukunkana is also, like, while walking, making, like, extensive notes about the position of the stars in relation to where she is on the map, and, like, trying to improve the map itself, because I feel like the maps aren't very accurate because of, like, how they're landmark-based.
A lot of them are really off.
So she's going to actively use her cartography skill to, like on a different paper, write down a more accurate map about where she is in relation to the stars, and like latitude and longitude it up. I don't actually know how cartography works, but she sure does, and in Fantasyland she's figuring it out.
You could do like Justin McElroy did in fucking Graduation, where he looked up a whole bunch of shit about like taxes and accounting.
Oh my god.
Because his character was taking accounting and tax lessons.
So fucking funny.
I said you just look up a shit ton of stuff about cartography. That'd be so funny. Use your Skillshare. # not spawn.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Find out next time.
I feel like normally the maps would be pretty accurate because they just do the, time estimation in day's journey, and they'd be very good at figuring that out. But that would probably require a lot of double checking and other things that are very dangerous to do on a frozen sea ice. So yeah, that tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Condemned is also looking over his shoulder, and he's thinking like, ugh, that Outlander background feature is never going to come in use.
Yeah, fuck that.
General knowledge of terrain and settlement, my ass.
So what did everybody think about the giant monster? What did all your characters think about the giant wandering finger?
So Condemned has never seen anything like it before, right?
Yeah.
So to be clear, when I say Condemned has never seen anything like it, like obviously he hasn't seen anything specifically like it, but has he seen like or heard of mammoth creatures wandering across the wastes or something in that like Leviathan-esque sphere?
You have heard many a rumor of giant beasts wandering the frozen tundra, but you've never come even in close contact with someone who has for themselves seen it as well. Yeah, typically it's a story of a story of a story. So how do the three of your characters react to these things?
Meris is just, I don't think she was really prepared for something of that magnitude and like something that kind of different and out there. Cause like she would have heard of like obviously dangers and stuff, but it's more generalized. Nothing that like her imagination, I don't think, could have come up with something that like specifically like big and weird. So she's kind of like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, Condemned would have sort of centered himself after the initial shock, and he's breaking it down very practically. Like, so the rumors were true about the size. I always assumed that they were exaggerated. And he's just trying to deal with it that way, instead of, actually unpacking the emotion.
Reminds me of my ex.
Reminds me of me.
Oh, sweetie.
So Cukunkana is taking it as charge. He's like, guess this is normal. Because she's never like experienced or heard anything about the outside world. She's like, geez, this is really crazy out here. There's
gravy.
There's like zombie kakin. There's like giant zombie starfish. Like she's like,
Also, your baby.
That checks.
Okay, post adrenaline, can I get a sanity roll from Meris and from Connie?
Oh fuck! How do we do that?
I think it's +2. Oh, I hope it's +2.
You roll a dice and then you add your sanity modifier.
Like a d20?
Yeah.
Yep, I got a +2, so I got a 15.
it's a good thing I'm not. Mine's a -1.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, so Connie, it's super unusual. It's super weird, and you struggle with it for a moment, but you realize that like so much of this is unexplored. It's not unreasonable, and you've heard rumors about this stuff before. It makes sense that there would be potentially giant things and giant dangers along with it, unexplainable or otherwise. It makes sense to you. Meris, you struggle with being able to comprehend the massive scale of it, because it was larger than anything that you could have possibly imagined. It's like how Grim looks at whales. They're just like huge. How could that thing exist?
Because whales aren't real.
How could this thing exist? And I'm gonna need you to sit for a minute, and in your character's mind, you are stuck on focusing on it, and you struggle to imagine even getting around it. It's so large, and in doing so, you are just completely silent and unable to move for about a minute as you go into shock.
Yeah, I dropped to my knees.
Cukunkana's definitely gonna go over when she notices. She's gonna kind of like bend down next to her, kind of like, and she says very quietly, I'm gonna put my hand on your back, okay? And she very gently puts her hand on Meris's back, and kind of like very slowly like reaches out her hand in case Meris wants to hold her hand.
Meris, the feeling of a hand on your back is very shocking to you.
Oh yeah, I just tense. Like the shoulders, just like shoulders up to the ears.
Condemned is gonna crouch down in front of Meris and be like, hey, listen, we have to go.
Okay. She stops touching her.
Your ears are filled with the cacophony of the walking feet.
All I can hear is I can hear it. It kind of sounds watery. The vision is kind of starting to like go black on the sides. Like it's starting to kind of like focal point just like straight ahead. It's like even if I try to like look to the sides, I can't. Like I'm just like I'm not doing okay. It's just straight ahead.
Sukunkana's gonna gently whisper Akin Kuku, and she casts like produce flame, and kind of like hold it close, like not close enough to burn her, but like just close enough to like warm her up, so like and like so she can like see the fire maybe, because I feel like fire and warmth is something that would generally be very comforting in a frozen wasteland.
Meris, can you give me a wisdom saving throw? At advantage, because you're getting help from your friend.
16.
Okay, so with the help from Cukunkana giving you the warmth and giving you the comfort, you're able to sort of bring yourself back as you can feel the blackness that was fading in your vision sort of peel away, and the sound of the roaring, rumbling footsteps have begun to also fade into obscurity as you come back and everybody is surrounding you and doing their best to be comforting to you.
I'm gonna kind of blink my eyes and rub my eyes with the heels of my hands. I'm gonna look at the flame that Cukunkana produced and just kind of stare at that and kind of let that kind of breathe, I think, with kind of the motion of the flames, and just kind of whew, okay, whew.
When Condemned sees that Meris is coming back too, he stands up and sort of, looks out. But he was very much planning, if that hadn't worked, to just slap them straight across the face, because
that also probably would have the same effect.
Goliath culture does not have a lot of time for positive reinforcement.
I'm gonna look up at Condemned as well, and just kind of hold my hand out, and just kind of with that, the look of just kind of almost shame, but also just kind of please help me out.
Yeah, Condemned grabs their hand and helps them to their feet. Come, we must make good time, yes?
Yeah. Sorry guys, that was just, that felt like a lot to kind of, that was big. Oofta.
Biggest oofta.
That's not normal?
It is not common. I have heard vague rumors of such things.
Oh.
I've never witnessed one of my own.
Huh. Well, I bet we're going to see all sorts of crazy things.
You sure will.
And she starts walking.
1,000-yard stare for half a second before he follows.
I think I'm gonna try to deal with Fang in a, just try to rearrange the tent a little bit to be able to either drag it or see if we can pack it up.
Oh, well, I'm sure that they would have packed up the tent and rolled it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fang is doing their best to pack it up and roll it up and.
Well, I thought we already packed it up. We were already walking.
No, I grabbed it by the tip and drug it.
Well, no, earlier when we stopped running, I think I said that Cukunkana started packing everything up.
Right, I don't listen.
Oh, okay.
Remember? So, there'd be no reason to keep dragging it along. We would have packed it up and put it away.
As funny as that would be.
As funny as it would have been, yeah.
No, you packed it wrong, and she unpacked it, and you packed it again.
Thanks, Mom.
I think Cukunkana secretly packed more stuff into Connie's bag.
That would actually make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, don't worry, I'll pack. And then she puts more stuff in his bag than in hers.
Why do I have 3 hairbrushes?
I do not have hair.
Yeah.
I think me and Connie are both bald.
Yeah.
She's got a comb, she's got a hairbrush, and she's got one of those circular
Oh my god.
hairbrushes.
So I have curly hair, and the amount of times as a child that I got those stuck in my hair and had to get them cut out.
Oh my god, I know, right? And
So, the 4 of you head on your way at a much brisker pace than before, because Cukunkana has a newfound confidence with her cartography.
she's also, I feel probably taking them off of the usual path and taking them on a more direct path that's still safe as far as she knows. I don't know.
Not that the stars tell her where the monsters are, but...
Yeah, not that the stars tell me where the monsters are. Maybe we shouldn't stray from the path too much.
This is your call.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, I think we should not stray. I think we should, I feel Sukun kind of brings up, she's like, hey, I bet we could get there faster if we go this way. And then I feel Connie would be like, no. Absolutely not.
Condemned would probably say something to the effect of, if they have charted a certain path, then it is possible that the reason it is not so direct is in order to keep us safe.
Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna keep going the usual way then.
So, as the 4 of you continue on the usual way, you meet the regular markers, and for the next, I think it was 2 more days until we got there?
Yeah.
You are lucky enough to simply not encounter anything before you finally see, far off in the distance, Continuance.
We see, it's like when you're on a road trip and you see the golden arches of a McDonald's.
Yeah.
sign, and you're just like, yes!
Yeah.
I'll go get chicken nuggies.
Nuggies!
I feel this is the same experience as driving through anywhere in Alberta. like between cities, and it's just grass and cows and fields for like 4 hours, and then suddenly see, is that a house?
Yeah.
Is that a house on the outskirts of town?
You know specifically when you're almost to where you're going to, because
There's anything?
there's like cows, horse, cows, goat!
Surely a goat wouldn't be this far out.
Yeah. You just recognize, you're like, that's Harold the goat. He
yes,
is
Harold.
From this place over here.
Town mascot.
Yeah.
My boy.
So you see Continuance. Fang looks exhausted.
So what does Continuance look like?
Continuance looks a lot different than Thrive, and Connie, you might have seen places like this. It's much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the buildings are significantly shorter than the ones in Thrive, because Thrive has many resources that other places don't have. So many of them are small domes that look pretty basic. There's a few buildings that look a little bit larger, but these look like gathering hubs and medical tents and stuff. And off to the left side from your perspective, so that would be the western part of the city, there looks to be some buildings that have been destroyed. And as you are walking closer and closer, you can see that there are people walking about, and there's many people over in the area where the buildings have been destroyed that are trying to fix it up and repair it. But it doesn't look like there are many strong individuals in that direction.
Okay. So it looks like it's relatively recent destruction.
Yeah.
So Condemned is going to do what he does whenever he comes to a new place. He is going to automatically scan to see if there are any Goliath tribes, or if he sees any of the very distinctive silhouettes of the 7-foot-tall minimum Goliaths wandering about.
Perception check.
That is a 20. Dirty 20.
You don't see anyone that tall.
Excellent.
Anyone slightly shorter?
Lots.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You guys see this place? You see what it looks like?
All right.
It's pretty flat. It's kind of like looking at like sort of like a middling town in the middle of nowhere, in anywhere BC or Alberta, or just sort of flat, few buildings. It's not large.
So there's no like, cause like Thrive has like waves, which is one of the defining features of Thrive, and this place is just flat. This
place does not have any waves. Just flat.
Right. But that would be most places, right?
Most places are flat.
Okay.
Places with waves are
Yes.
a big deal.
This place is called Continuance, right?
Yeah.
But it's smaller than Thrive, right?
Yes.
Much smaller.
Cukunkana like starts walking, and she's like, "Guess we should continue on." As she walks into town.
That was Meris laughing.
Condemned just sighs heavily. Condemned will follow, and because Thrive and Continuance are supposed to have halfway decent relations, he is looking both for anyone who might be a Goliath or otherwise problematic, and also for anybody who might just look like, they're there to greet incoming caravans and the like.
Cukunkana uses her mind link, as she always does, to talk to her comrades. And she says, so, kama, girl amdu, is pretty sure I should keep the whole, witch stuff on the DL for the most part. I know we want to, try to figure out what is up with, the situation, but also there's risk of, because you know how cool the, star map is and everything? I feel like on the note of valuable resources, not just be like, oh, I'm so special, I'm gonna get kidnapped. However,
that is fair.
I don't think it's a good idea to go talking about how cool of a witch I am.
Fang looks at you like, oh, it's good you mentioned that, because I was immediately gonna start talking about that with everybody. It's incredibly unusual.
Yeah, so basically, I'm just gonna stand silently and not talk to anyone.
Oh, do you want to hold on to my hand axe, and then we can tell people that you're also a melee person, melee, Maloo.
I have the muscles to pull it off.
You're like a mealy sort of cornbread
Yeah.
person.
I believe it is fine. Witches are not uncommon. However, witches of your particular brand, if you are telling me, is uncommon.
Oh, well, we can say you're just like a paladin apprentice.
I could just be like a regular sorcerer.
Yes, that's what I mean. Regular
You know.
witch.
Yeah, if you don't want to lie.
Yeah, regular sorcerer. We shouldn't bring up the star stuff or that other stuff, but just regular sorcerer, like vanilla sorcerer, draconic lineage, etc.
Yes. Something basic.
Yes. I don't intend to talk to anyone. I'll even leave the talking to you guys, because I feel like I just realized the other day I don't know how to talk to people, like, out loud very well.
But, like, in theory, you could out loud if you needed to.
In theory, I could, but, like, I'm not sure how it would go.
Condemned thinks about what a crapshoot Cukunkana's conversations in her preferred method are, and decides that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean, the history.
So just pretend I'm some kind of mysterious silent witch that travels with you.
Sure.
Oh, this is my mute friend.
You don't know my name. My name is a mystery. I am just the witch. You can just refer to me as the witch.
I mean, we could still call you Cukunkana if we needed to, yes?
Yeah, no, we're not supposed to be like, I think we're trying to divert from the fact that you're witchy.
Well, like, I'm regular witch, though.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm a sorcerer.
Hi, this is our mute friend, regular witch.
Yes.
Please don't ask too many questions or try to talk to her too much.
She won't respond, yes.
She won't respond. She may nod. We'll see. Perfect. Okay.
You're a natural at this.
Awesome.
Anyway, point is, names are good. I'm not going to talk to anyone if I can avoid it. And then we're going to be Gucci.
So are we going to the inn to find Luckyfoot? Is that where he is?
Is there some kind of adventurers guild?
Because I'm just wondering because where she I doubt Fang wants to come with us for our boring shit. She probably wants to go find like a doctor, or like an inn.
Fang is gonna try to find passage to where she's from.
Do you guys have good relationships back where you're from? I don't remember what it's called. Discontinuance.
I don't remember where she's from.
Animal Town.
Duration.
That's right.
Duration.
Right, and Cukunkana's like, so, like, we're gonna need directions to your town, though.
Oh, for animals.
I need directions too, because I've never been here either.
Yeah, you need directions for you. Okay, great. Cukunkana, do you think she'd have, like, an extra map on her person? Or, I mean, she'd have more cartography tools, so I feel like she could, like, at least write down, like, vague directions.
Yeah, do you think that you could, like, take a day to, like, make one?
You have enough stuff to give her a copy if she wants to get to Thrive or wherever, one more place.
Yeah, she's gonna take out a map, and she's like, this is a map to Thrive.
Oh my god, wonder if we just had this the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, didn't she, though?
I hate it here.
If you would probably have been making a copy of this along the way anyways.
Yeah.
One for you and one for the community.
I guess giving Fang directions and then sending her off would be tantamount to murder, knowing Fang's track record, so...
We're gonna be ending up, like, back at Thrive where we are. Wait, is it closer? Is Dur whatever closer to Thrive than here? Like, is it on the way? Like, can we drop her off?
Look, I don't know how far away I am. I have to figure that out from here. So if I see you guys before you have to leave or I have to leave, then we can talk about it then. But right now, I don't know.
Well, here's a map.
This is from Continuance to Thrive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do?
Draw a star and then just say you are here.
Ask whoever knows what the hell they're doing, if this is on the path or where it is in relation. Because I'm sure, like, if you're traveling with another cartographer who knows what they're talking about, they're gonna be able to figure it out.
Okay, I'll see if I can find someone, maybe a caravan.
Also, this will help because if you ever want to come, like, for a visit, like, I'll bring you to dinner. Like, you can, like, you just have to get here and then go to Thrive and then we can hang out. Like, I know that, like, we didn't always get along because you're so prickly.
Because you suck.
But, like...
She noticeably keeps her mouth shut.
But, like, we've been through a lot together.
You did save us.
And I appreciate you, and I wanna do something nice for you. As one person to a little fledgling cartographer like yourself.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And hopefully I do get to see you again before we have to go our separate ways.
Well, you should probably take like a minute just to like calm down, take a nap, heal up a little bit.
I'm going to. Don't worry.
For sure.
I'm going to be here for probably a couple of days.
Cool. Well, we'll let you know where we're staying if we see you, and then you can let us know where you're staying.
So have you guys been talking and walking at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Condemned has been, during this conversation, Condemned has been kind of like scanning over the heads of everybody around him, looking to see if he can see anyone that looks like they might be a community leader or someone in a position of either authority or knowledge that he could, bother, basically.
In doing so, you guys eventually reach the outer rim of Continuance, and you see a man who's got a very large spear and a shield, and he says, "Halt!
We halt.
Mm-hmm.
State your business."
Hello. We come from Thrive. We are here to speak with Luckyfoot.
Bill Luckyfoot.
Bill Luckyfoot.
Ah, you come from Thrive and you look to speak with Bill Luckyfoot. All right. What are your names?
I am Meris Terrasat.
I am Condemned. I'm Naukon IseFerd. I am known as Condemned.
And the small one?
And this is Cukunkana.
She waves.
And my name is Fang. The four of you come from out of town. You have these bombastic, fantastic names. My name is Harold. Come inside.
Harold?
I will point you in the direction of Bill Luckyfoot.
Did he just say his name was Harold?
Yeah.
Another Harold!
Oh my god!
Perfect.
Sukunkana's visibly freaking out. She's like gesturing wildly at him, and then to her friends, and then at him. And in her mind, she's mind linking to you guys, like loudly being like, "There's another Harold here! There's another Harold, you guys!"
Harold, my mute friend, and my tall friend, and my furry friend, and I just want you to know that Harold is just as bombastic as any name.
Yeah, we're sorry. The GM didn't tell us that we were using standard English names for our conventions.
There is no, name convention.
What color are your eyes, Harold? Are they fantastical?
I want to understand, who's this other Harold? I'm forgetting who this other Harold is.
Didn't we say there's a Harold in every town, like Nurse Jenny?
Wasn't there another Harold in Thrive?
Oh no, that was Howard. Howard.
Howard?
You know what, Harold could be a better name.
Harold and Howard are the same. Like Sukin kind of just legitimately doesn't remember anyone's name, and she's like, H? And everybody else is like, what the hell is she going on about?
Huh?
So Howard said he takes his spear and he puts down his shield by his side and he points towards the center of town and says, "Go in there. You will find what you're looking for."
So he just pointed towards the town. Got it. All right.
The middle of town, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
But that's just...
Great.
Yeah, okay.
Go more in town. Thanks for
Thank you.
directions.
This place is so not large that you can literally you can see the center of town from where you're standing. And so you walk.
Yeah.
And so we walk.
Once you get in a little bit closer, you see a woman who is just fucking jacked as shit. She's huge, rippling, bulging muscles. She's got the knife ears of a woman who is elven in lineage, and she is tall and strong, and she's moving lots of different pieces of bone and leather from one area onto a cart that they have, and she turns around. How old does she look?
How old does she look?
Well, she's an elf,
human
so
years.
she in human years she looks about 33.
It's like 400.
Yeah,
Got
so
it.
she's 780 years old or some shit. You know,
I spit on my hand and shine my scalp.
Yeah.
It immediately freezes.
Yeah. No, it doesn't even you just sort of spit in your hand and just smash.
It's to give you a sparkly effect because of the spit ice crystals sparkle around you.
Hell yeah.
Would you happen to be Bill Luckyfoot?
No, I'm not Bill Luckyfoot. I'm Jewel.
Well, I don't know what a Luckyfoot looks like.
Any relation to?
Sorry. We lost some people recently. My name is Jewel. I'm working on the reconstruction efforts on the west side of town. We lost some buildings and we lost some people. I'm just a bit busy and I'm just a bit stressed out. You guys are looking for Bill Luckyfoot? I can point you in the direction of him. I would really, really appreciate if you guys would help out. I know that you just got here. I know you're probably tired, but I could really, really use some travelers to help out with moving some of the materials we need from the center of town off to the western side to help rebuild those buildings.
Oh.
I'm gonna straighten my shoulders and stand up.
Cukunkana silently walks over to Jewel, like without saying anything, with no prompting, and just kind of touches her arm gently and looks into Jewel's eyes and casts guidance and be like, "This is the extent of my physical ability."
She just sort of feels like a little like, oh, okay, all right. Okay.
We should speak to Bill Luckyfoot first, but of course, I know I would be more than happy to assist with this issue.
Okay.
Since part of our job is to improve relations.
So, Jewel, if we need to find you after we talk to Bill, do you have an address? Does anyone else live there? Are you by yourself? Do you have a husband or a wife? Would you like to?
This is irrelevant information. You don't understand. Never forget. Okay. I'm just going to keep working. Bill's house is over there, and she points to the northeastern side of town.
Hard to get. Okay. Well, you remember us.
Roll an insight check.
Fuck yeah.
Cukunkana's gonna, like, mind link to Meris and be like, "Look, maybe she'll be impressed when she, like, sees how strong you are, you know? Like, flex those abs while you're helping her build her new house that you'll maybe live in, right?"
I'm gonna do that thing where I just kind of like stretch up, put my hands behind my neck, and just kind of like, ooh, like kind of like bend over a little bit, just kind of like ripple.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 15.
She's not looking at you, but you can see she's just annoyed at the question. Like, how could you possibly ask me if I have a partner right now? That's not important stuff.
Yeah, I guess, like, should you just say they lost a bunch of people? Maybe her partner fucking died.
Meris's energy right now with that stretch, though, is very much that thing like, "Hey babe, you see my beach ball? It's about this big, this round, might have gone that away."
Exactly.
Shredded.
Baby, just you wait till we find a beach.
She is gone now. She's taking her cart and she's pushing stuff away. So you're just saying baby to no one.
Baby. Oh.
I assume we are walking to Bill Luckyfoot's house at this point.
I don't. Well, at least it sounds like at least two of you are. One of you is staring at this muscle elf.
God, I would be.
Thirstingly.
Condemned is gonna put a big ass hand on Meris's shoulder and kind of tug them along.
Cukunkana is kind of like child, like wandering around curiously, staring at all the different buildings and staring openly at the people and wandering around, generally probably being kind of annoying to the people that she's getting in the way of.
Yeah, you get a lot of looks.
Condemned is not getting outside of like arm's reach of Cukunkana. And there's like a very small amount of visible tension on his face, which for him is a massive amount of emotion, as he's clearly very positive that someone is just going to steal the chieftain's daughter.
So as the three of you make your way to Bill Luckyfoot's house, he steps outside and he looks like he's in a bit of a rush. He's like, oh, travelers, hello, greetings.
What's his race?
He's a halfling.
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters. I don't see color.
Yeah.
I don't see height.
He's pretty tall for a halfling, but he's still a halfling. Hello. Sorry. We're dealing with a lot right now.
Sukin kind of stares aggressively at, like, she, like, crouches down and, like, looks at his feet.
They're hairy.
They're both there.
Yeah, they're both there.
Do they look the same?
She nods knowingly and stoically without saying a word, then stands back up.
What is wrong with her?
Is he barefoot on the ice?
Maris elbows her and kind of nods over and just like, right.
So he is not barefoot on the ice. He has small leather, like they're basically like sandals, but they're like pretty thick sandals. But
Are
he's
his
got
feet
like
black from frostbite?
No, they are not.
They ought to be.
They're sandals.
So he's like, I'm sorry. It's a lot right now to have new visitors come in. I'm Bill Luckyfoot. I run the community. How can I help you? I clearly don't know you. Where are you from?
Hi, we're from Thrive.
Oh, from Thrive, of course.
Maris, Connie, Condemned.
Yes, of course.
Cukunkana. We've been sent here to talk to help. What happened here? You guys seem like.
We recently had a swarm of roving undead. They came by and they took a large part of the town, and for the most part we were able to redirect them with some fresh meat. Unfortunately, it was from those that they had recently killed. We just moved it to a different area, and we were able to push them out in that direction. And in them walking and attacking and the swarm that they did, we lost many people, but we also lost some buildings. And it's you know how it is, right? Yeah. we're not quite as well protected as you are, but we make it work. We're okay. We make it work.
How long ago was this that they were here?
It was a few days. Give me a intelligence check.
Can I make one too?
Yeah.
Like just intelligence?
Just how smart are you check.
Oh my! It's D&D Beyond. It looks like it's like 2/18, but it gave me 18, so I'm gonna say 18.
I got 20.
You guys fucking killed it with this one. So Connie, you're not quite up on it. You just sort of you're like that makes sense. Like undead come by and walk around. But Cukunkana and Meris, you two are able to sort of maybe get a guess that the undead that you fought a few days ago might have been sort of strays from this roving undead that are walking in a large group.
Was it undead wolves? Or was it undead people?
Are you asking this?
I Grim is a human being. But also Cukunkana probably like mind links to one of the others
Mm-hmm.
Hey, ask if it was some cuckin or a person.
Were these ice thralls that moved through?
Yes, they were the human ones, the walking ones.
I wanted to ask, what are the building made of? B, what do they look like, and what do the interiors look like?
You haven't been into the interior of any of the buildings yet, but
well, what does the outside of the building look
exterior
like?
of the buildings, they are dome-like, and they are made of bone that has been tied together with twine of sorts.
Okay, is it still like pit house style?
It doesn't look like it's pit house style. It doesn't look like it digs into the ice. It mostly, from what you can tell, it's sort of more like igloo-esque.
So it's like igloo but bones.
Yeah.
Okay. It'd make more sense if it was just igloo, but okay.
Well, it's because they use the again, there's lots of trading that goes on, but also they use a lot of the materials on the ground as well, so that they aren't lying right on ice. So it's sort of like if you could pick it up, it would also hang from the bottom. It's one big full structure. So, I remember you mentioned that you're from Thrive. I know it's very helpful. If it's not too much to ask, would you be able to help out with the rebuilding?
Sure.
It's a big ask because I know that it's not always safe, and this isn't where you're from, but it would be a big deal because a lot of the people who were strong we lost in the undead attack.
What if we said no?
Yeah. What about fuck him?
We would be more than happy to assist you with this task. If you would be so kind as to provide us with perhaps some lodging and perhaps some food, such as you can spare in the while we are here.
Of course. You're the big sisters from Thrive. Of course, we'll give you everything that we can.
Cukunkana, can I game Mr. Dungeon Master?
Mr. Game Boy.
Mr. Game Boy, sir. I have a request. Can Cukunkana have I don't know, half an hour to prepare some new spells?
You are going to get a chance to rest pretty soon, and also we've had 2 days, so you can switch out whatever spells you want.
Well, I feel like her traveling spells versus her useful spells are different. Do you know what I mean? Her domestic spells, so she would have fighting and traveling spells on, but for helping fix out the town, because she is not physically capable of doing any hard labor. You know, she's gay and doesn't do hard labor. Okay.
Same.
I'll say that if you give me 2 different lists that you have, you can have an outside of town list and an inside of town list. Then I will say that because you are different and special than other people in the world.
Well, no, I mean just for this specific situation, so she can help with the construction efforts without physically being able to help. Or she can just not help.
Yeah.
She can just cast guidance and supervise.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of... okay, in that case, I'm going to say no.
Okay, fine. She'll just cast guidance and supervise silently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long... Well, I guess that depends on how long we're doing. If it's just 1 day, then no. But if it's the next day, because you said she can change her spells out after an 8-hour rest, right?
Yeah, so you are going to be here for at least 2 days. I believe that's the limit that they set on,
right.
You go there 5 days, you go there, you're 2 days, you come back 5 days more, so 12 days.
Then hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to turn to Bill Luckyfoot. I'm going to say, we might need a rest kind of soon here, but we can absolutely help as soon as we're fit and ready. You just let us know where you need us.
Yeah, well, he looks back into his place and he says, normally, I let people stay in my place, but it's not quite up to date right now. So, there is a woman in town. She's working a lot right now. She's been going nonstop since the attack. Her name's Jewel. She has one of the larger areas, and she might be able to let everybody stay in her place.
We have met Jewel. Her place, so she has a lot of empty rooms. Does she share that with a partner? Is there anyone else that lives?
Yeah,
there
are we
with
going to
her?
be inconveniencing anyone? I just don't want to be.
I don't have to.
No, there's lots of rooms. She's there. Her place is the secondary place at which people stay at because she's a very strong construction worker. So she's able to build upon more and more and more rooms. So you won't be inconveniencing anybody.
Okay.
So evading the question.
So, okay. Okay, cool.
Cukunkana is going to mind link to Meris and be like, ask if the presence of someone like super hot would maybe make her potential partner jealous.
That was just a Meris, right?
Yeah, that was just a Meris.
That tracks.
So we won't inconvenience anyone. We don't want to be like a threat to her and her family or anyone that she may be involved with that also lives in the house.
Well,
that wouldn't be a problem, would it?
Well, I don't think that her sister would mind.
So just her and her sister? That's her only family?
Is her sister also hot?
How old is your sister?
She takes care of her sister a lot. Her sister's she's small and weak and...
Ew, okay.
I can relate to that.
Don't care.
You know how I feel about weakness.
Perfect. All right. I think that's all we needed to know.
What do you guys do with the information? You're able to go... you can go find whoever. You can go find Jewel. You can start helping with the reconstruction if you want.
Yeah, let's go to Jewel. Let's go to Jewel. See what we can
We'll
do.
put all our stuff away first. I guess we'll have to go to Jewel and then put our stuff
that's
away.
my thought too.
Okay.
How long have we been like up and about for? Like, are we gonna need to take a long rest soon?
You're at about 6 hours of travel and stuff, so you're pretty close to like needing to just chill out for maybe the rest of the day or do stuff around town. You can take it or leave it, but basically like you can rest and you can eat and you can sort of recharge, or you can start helping. But either way, you only have about 2 hours of stuff to do before trying to get some sleep.
Right. Once we're a little bit away from Bill Luckyfoot, thank you for the information.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, we will see what we can do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Right. And so once we've walked away from the NPC...
Quick one thing. Fang says to Bill, like, I do need a place to... I just need to find somewhere where I can stay. I'm not really with... I'm not from Thrive. I just need a place to just rest. Do you have like a community sort of resting center? And Bill says, of course, yeah. It's just down the way in the middle. You take a bit of a right turn to the north, and there's just a place where we store people that are not from our sister community, and sort of just looking for help. And so Fang bids you adieu, and she heads off that way. Like, I'll see you guys before you leave, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Come to the Jules' house if you need to talk to us.
She sort of like cocks her head, like, and then she leaves.
Condemned will suggest to the other two once they're a little distant away. I know that you two are not accustomed to long journeys, but it would perhaps be best to assist for what time we can before asking for a room. Go smoother, yes?
Cukunkana like flexes her arm and like pats her muscles and is like, I'm gonna cast guidance.
Like a potato. like a mashed or scalloped potato. Everybody else.
You need me to carry a small piece of paper from one person to another? I'll cast Longstrider on myself. I'll be there real fast.
Your contribution will be noted and appreciated, I am sure.
So yeah, let's go see Jewel.
So the three of you head off in the direction of that. Everything is destroyed, to the center of town where you saw Jewel first, and she's there again. She's loading up the cart with more bones and leather. Fucking goddamn undead. They drive me crazy. I can't.
Oh, the curses.
Okay. All right.
Same.
Okay.
We killed a couple of those.
What?
Hey, hi, I don't know if you remember us.
Yeah, you're the weirdos.
Yeah, some of us. Not me, I'm cool. We we just talked to Bill. He said that you might have some room and board, a little bit of room because
Is she lifting something right now?
No, she's frustrated.
Just very.
Or she's just grunting.
Okay.
obviously we're gonna help first.
Condemned is going to put a hand on Meris' shoulder, which is becoming very common, actually.
This is more physical content than Condemned's had in his entire life outside of battle.
Yeah. We are, of course, happy to help. We just spoke with Bill Luckyfoot, as that was our objective when we came from Thrive. As my friend Meris has said, we understand that your place has some lodging. If we could simply leave our bags there, we would be more than happy to help you with whatever physical labor you need. At least for the two of us. The little one, he makes that kind of like so-so gesture. Physicality is not her strong suit.
Oh, fuck Bill. Southeastern side of Continuance, there's a place that has a red door. That is where you can put your stuff. We'll organize it later.
Sukun kind of mind links to Connie and is like, ask them if there's any like injured that we can like cast magic on to heal, because I can also do that.
The girl is a witch with some healing magic. If there are any injured, she may be able to assist with that.
There's definitely a few. Northwestern quadrant. There's a hospital. She should be able to go there.
Of course. We will be back shortly.
Good. And she starts picking up more stuff and cursing more and just fucking Bill. Goddamn son of a...
Sukun kind of quietly touches her arm and casts guidance again.
She like does it a little faster, like a little more angry.
Save me some of that heavy stuff. See you soon.
She shoots you like fucking daggers, like...
Read of the room.
Okay, let's go put her stuff away.
So you guys head to the area of which she described, and you can see there's a building with a red door, and...
How is it painted red? Like with blood?
Yeah.
That would be brown.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be brown. So how is it painted red?
Because magic exists.
Checks out.
Okay,
Stop
fine.
putting holes in the plot.
Yeah.
Just wondering, because I remember distinctly talking about how there weren't many dyes in this world. Just saying.
Grim, if you didn't take the mending cantrip, stop poking holes.
You see the building, and to describe it in a way that only I could think of, it's sort of like a bunch of small domes that are all sort of connected in the way that like a hamster cage has the tubes.
Love it.
So like one of those 20-person tents?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's like a bunch of like small ones, like you could fit like maybe 4 or 5 people in one, like 2 people in another, 3 people in another, 2 people in another. And they're all connected by a small sort of like hallway. And she builds all this shit. You can tell that nobody else has this kind of stuff, probably because she builds it all herself. And she often has many people around. So, you enter and you see that it's pretty much a basic sort of main foyer area. There's some weapons and tools that are near the door. There's a small area that has a few different pairs of shoes nearby. And going farther in, you can see down the hallway there's no flaps or curtains. You can just see straight through. And there are 2 rooms directly ahead of you, and they both look like they have sort of an offshoot that goes off to the left.
Ensuite bathrooms, nice. I'm just kidding.
You know when you like awkwardly go into someone's house, like the first time you visit them, and then they like leave you for a couple minutes and you don't know what to do with your stuff, so you kind of like awkwardly put it in the doorway because you don't know what to do with your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what Cukunkana does. Because she doesn't know. She's like, which one am I supposed to go to? I don't know. I'm just going to put it here, like, out of the way so no one steps on it. She, like, awkwardly puts it down.
I mean, that more or less tracks, right? If there's nowhere that looks like it's the central storage area, then Condemned will do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I'll throw my shit on top.
Okay, so you guys do that. Do you head back out immediately, or do you walk around?
Cukunkana grabs a snack on the way out. She grabs some Watsukana, some dried meat. And she's like, I need some protein for all this heavy lifting I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, Condemned put down his backpack, and his backpack contains, for the record, just in case anything were to happen to it, just going to take the tent, the sleeping roll, the stuff, but most of his tools he has kept on his person, with the exception of the heavier bits of the bonesmithing tools.
So you guys put your stuff down. Do you head back out and off to where you know that Jewel will be?
I think Cukunkana kind of sees Connie keep like his most important stuff with him. She's like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Could she have like a satchel for her cartography stuff?"
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So she takes her cartography satchel with her.
All right. Wonderful.
Let us escort you to this hospital they spoke of first, and then myself and Meris can return to assist Jewel.
Cukunkana agrees. Let's get going.
Mhm.
Let's go.
And then we'll meet back here in 2 hours
Sure.
for nap time.
Hospital away.
Okay, so the three of you leave this area, and you can see that there are more people now who are helping Jewel move stuff to the reconstruction site, and you pass through that area. You go to the northwestern quadrant where the hospital is. It's pretty obvious, as it has a big T, like the first aid symbol. It's universal along all generations and all universes.
The Red Cross.
That's the word.
Which is universal everywhere except for most of Africa and the Middle East, where it's the Red Crescent.
Yes.
Islam.
So you manage to get straight up to the curtain of that. You open it up, and you can see that there's tons of people who are just laying on pretty simple but comfortable bedrolls on the ground, and they don't look super happy.
I think that game wise, I think it'd be wise if Meris like popped like a little bit of lay on hands on a bit of everybody.
I was just
and
thinking
then
the exact same
Cukunkana
thing.
could like top up who like needs more healing than other people. Like the ones that are more injured should get the spells, and then the ones who just need like have vague wounds should get just a little bit of lay on hands.
So Grim, just a reminder, you have a specific thing involved with your druid subclass that can help with healing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna
Yes.
kind of like look over at Cukunkana. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do a little bit here, and then you're gonna have to fix everyone up. So I'm gonna walk in and clap my hands. I'm gonna say, hello, ladies, gays, and theys. We are here to help a little bit. I'm going to... Who's the worst? Who's worst off? Raise your hand.
So there's a few people in the back who do not raise their hand, and everyone else shoots like daggers at you because
Excuse you, we're here to heal you. That's what she like thinks in her brain to like the other to Meris.
because they're looking at you with a disdain and disgust in their eyes, and then like a nearby nurse, she just says, "This isn't a performance."
Yeah. We're here to help.
That's just how they are all the time. They're healer.
Okay, there's a man in the back. He lost his foot. There's a woman in the back. She has a large chunk ripped out of her. We don't have any magical healers here. I don't know how long they have.
Sukin kind of puts her hands on her hips and thinks to Meris, "They do now."
Yeah. I'm gonna look back at Cukunkana. I'm gonna put my hands on my hips and I'm gonna say, they have a fighting chance now that we are here. And then I'm gonna look at Cukunkana. I'm gonna go, like that? Do I do like that? Was that good?
She nods.
Hell yeah.
So again, the nurse looks at both of you like, okay, the people up front are the ones who are they're going to be okay. We have handled their wounds, but the people farther back are the ones who need more help. So we have another person who they lost an eye. There's another person who lost a lot of blood, and they're slowly they're moving out quickly, but they're all moving out quickly. This is probably the slowest one, but it's all urgent.
Okay, Cukunkana, let's hit the back. The eyeball seems like that can wait, personally. I'm not saying that to the nurse. I don't want her to fight me.
Okay, so Cukunkana, she's like, okay. And she walks to the back, and she communicates to Meris. She's like, I want all of the most injured people in a circle around me.
Mm-hmm.
Up to 30 feet.
Perfect. I'm going to start dragging. If they're too far, I'm going to start dragging the beds. And I'm going to be like, hey.
Stop moving the beds.
We need to do this.
All right. Just to clarify, I think most rooms are usually less than 30 feet across.
Yeah, you can easily, like, everybody within the area that you are is within 30 feet of you. This is not a huge room.
Okay.
So I start dragging one of the beds, and the person's like, ow! And then...
Okay, You.
Condemned is like, oh, no.
Oh, no. Condemned is nowhere near this. Condemned is seeing what you guys are doing. He's still at the entrance waiting for Meris to get back.
Oh, no, the nurse then.
The nurse, like, sees you trying to move it and is like, you, out, now, get out. Stop trying to move around injured patients. They are struggling. Get
so
out.
you can kind of like without warning, like because they're getting kicked out. She's like, no, and then she casts. She's gonna cast Healing Word really fast. So she very suddenly she says "Akifnurus," and then her body, like on each of her joints, a sort of like a bright light appears, as kind of like the stars you saw on the star mat appear on each of her joints, and she kind of starts glowing a bit. And she casts Healing Word, which is the only healing spell that she has on right now.
Okay, who do you cast it on?
The most injured looking bloke.
Okay, so the woman who's missing a leg.
Yeah. So Healing Word. I roll a 1, so I got 5 hit points on that one. But with her starry form, which is activated, which is the chalice, it says here, a constellation of life-giving goblet appears on you. Whenever you cast a spell using a spell slot that stores hit points to a creature, you or another creature within 30 feet can regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay.
I don't know how long that specifically lasts, but it also heals another person sitting next to her.
Yeah, within 30 feet. So you can, I think that lasts for a minute?
Let me see.
Yeah, I think it lasts as long as the wild shape, doesn't it?
No.
Oh.
10 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Sick. Okay, so then in that case, she heals another person for 1d8 plus my wisdom modifier, which is 4. So I got 6 heals on the other person.
Okay, so you can tell that the person who's missing their leg doesn't grow back, but
Well, obviously not.
the wound seems to like close up and heal much faster than it normally would have, and the guy who lost a big chunk out of his rib cage, that seems to like crest over and sort of dissipate. The glow of the healing magic in the starry form sort of clasps over the wound, and just a small scar is left over where it was.
I'm gonna turn to the nurse and I'm gonna say, see, our methods are a little bit messed up, but they work. Please let me help.
No, she's fine. You are a menace.
These are our methods. We're from the big city. I'm trying to persuade.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check.
I think the most persuasive Cukunkana just like mind link. She's like, just do it. Just heal someone. Just touch someone's body, and then like boom, just to like prove it.
Fuck off, 6.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
That's true. I roll a 6.
She is not convinced. She's like, no, like I cannot imagine. I don't know what's going on with her, but you clearly are a menace to these poor patients, and you need to get out.
No.
I'm gonna run over to one of the ones that she didn't heal, and then I'm gonna like quickly like breathe up so you can see the heat coming up my throat, throwing it on my hands, and then like throwing it on to. Was the person that was like bleeding out slowly, were they the ones with the cracked ribs?
No, that was a different person. There's a person who also has that.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna go to the other one that the one that she didn't heal yet, and I'm gonna throw my lay on hands and
give me a medicine check real quick.
But it's magic. You don't need checks for magic.
Hold on. Just do it.
14.
This person during all the commotion has passed.
What?
Whoa.
Well, they didn't even get to do their death saves?
They're NPCs.
Death saves are for adventurers.
Yeah. So you take your magic in your hands, you place them on their body. How many points did you want to put in?
I was gonna put in like 2.
Okay. So you can feel the magic dissipate, but you don't feel it go anywhere, and you can feel it sort of seep back into your body, and you feel like it's not working. It's not working. Why isn't it working? Oh, it's because it's too late.
So now it looks like we killed this person.
On a quick reminder as well, because I'm sure Meris would be constantly aware of this, is that her healing hands are the magical kind of fire that doesn't cause any scarring, but it does still hurt also, which is something to consider.
Does it hurt? I don't think it hurts, does it?
It's like a magical cauterizing, so it's not comfortable, but it's not like super painful.
Yeah, it doesn't cause damage.
Mm-hmm. So the nurse sees you run over and try to help this person out, but in doing so, they run to you like they're trying to like wrestle you off of them, but they see what you tried to do, and they could see that part of the body that you touched, part of it started to misshape in sort of a more healthy way, but they can see that it did not work. And they look down and they look at you and they say, "Thank you for trying. I need you to leave.
We can heal more people.
You can stay. She has to leave."
She didn't say that out loud, just
Yeah.
FYI.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna stare the nurse down.
Yeah, Sukun kind of puts her foot down and she goes over to Meris and she holds her hand and she's like, "I'm leaving," if she's leaving, but she also casually casts healing word on another dying patient.
Yeah.
And then also the starry form on another person because like she still doesn't want people to die.
Okay. So there's a guy who's missing an eye, and there's just another person who is just laying down.
She got 7 on healing word.
Ooh.
Okay, so the guy who's missing an eye, he does not regrow his eye, but the wound closes over, and it's just, it looks like it'll be okay for him.
And she also got, ooh, she rolled really good. 7 plus 4 is 11 for healing somebody else. And also, 1 second, Cukunkana's going to do something extreme that I've also done with a different character. Is that okay?
You do what you gotta do.
Cukunkana, like, reaches into her, like, I don't know, I feel like everybody has a knife on their belt. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
So she gets a knife out of her pocket, and she takes it to her arm, she slices her arm open. And then she thrusts it towards Meris.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
quickly.
Roll a damage. Just roll damage for a dagger.
Like, what kind of damage?
Dagger damage.
Well, I don't have a... I guess I do have a dagger.
Everybody has a if you're walking around these worlds without a dagger, like
Yeah, 1d4.
I'm sure that I'm going to add that to my inventory, but I rolled a 2.
So because your strength modifier, no, you have it's your dexterity. That's right.
Interestingly, finesse means that Cukunkana can choose whether to use her dexterity or her strength. So she can choose to take 2 minus 2 for minimum 1 by the rules as written, I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah, okay. I use my strength instead of my dexterity, so I take 1 point of damage.
Okay, so you slice open your arm,
Yeah.
and this woman is like, "What are you people doing?"
And I'd like to remind you, Sukin kind of doesn't talk. She just stares.
Yeah.
On a related note, has Condemned been hearing this minor commotion in the back?
Of course. This is not a big room.
Okay, well then.
Does he like walk in and Sukin kind of slicing her arm open?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I should say, so this is all one room, right?
Yeah.
Cukunkana is doing this. Condemned is kind of making his way over and is to hopefully try and ameliorate the situation a bit.
I'm gonna stare at the nurse with my like lip curling. Like I'm mad. And I'm gonna like angrily heal up my hands. And I'm gonna heal Cukunkana for her point.
My 1 point of damage, which is all the damage I've ever taken.
Oh, yeah.
Candor, are you still adding stuff to the self-inflicted damage?
No, I was only doing that when it looked like there was going to be more than others had inflicted on us, but...
That's true. Okay. Anyway.
So when I take my hands away and Cukunkana is all healed up, I'm gonna like keep looking at the nurse and I'm gonna say, if you let us do what we need to do, you're not gonna have many more deaths. But I'll leave. I'll let Cukunkana take care of this because she's equipped for this. But just know that
I got 1 spell slot left.
well, you can let Cukunkana stay. She can heal whoever she wants or needs to heal. But don't question me. Don't undermine me.
Condemned, he's kind of got to like stoop a bit to walk through, I imagine, this place, like duck his head a little bit.
Just a bit.
And so it does make it a little bit awkward as he's trying to do this like very calming presence as he's like this big jacked motherfucker. But his voice is very calm and level and somewhat low in this rumbling Goliath voice. And he says, "My apologies, my friend. We are not the most refined individuals sometimes, and I can understand your concern. For your patience, it is admirable. However, despite some of the roughness of edges, as you say, they are both quite competent healers, and if you give this one chance," he pats Meris on the back, "she has healed very significant wounds of my own. I know it is hard to believe, but she could be asset to you and your patients. And I'm hoping that will give advantage to Meris's persuasion."
No, I need a persuasion check from you.
God damn it.
Because you're the one making the argument.
I was hoping that would aid Meris's persuasion. that she just
Well,
gave.
Meris's persuasion is part of the DC.
Yeah.
Yours is the actual check.
Oh, cool. You added to the DC. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Ooh, okay.
Can I cast Guiding Bolt?
Can I kill this
Guiding
nurse?
Bolt. Can I kill this nurse? No, can I cast Guidance subtly?
Real quick, roll a stealth check.
Okay. I'm so stealthy. I got a 1, so I got 5. No, wait, I got 3.
It's super obvious that you're doing something, but she doesn't know what the hell it is.
Yeah. Well, I still cast Guidance. Does that help? I think it does.
I mean, we'll find out.
Okay.
It's an ability roll, right?
Yeah. Should I use inspiration on this, guys?
No, I want these people to die now. I'm mad.
All right, fair enough. Well, I got a total of 6.
I understand where you're coming from, but we are not people who go out on the road. We are fragile. We live here in this small city where we are struggling every day.
Sounds like you do
I don't
healing.
know. You are outsiders. You're probably from that large community out there that you're doing so well all the time, and we are out here struggling to find resources to trade with you. All that we want is to make sure that we can do our best for these people, and to have someone come in moving around sick people. I can't get behind the recklessness that goes along with that.
Of course, we understand. A healer, in my clan, a healer always has the final say over what goes on under their watch. We will respect your decision. And he is going to turn to Cukunkana, and he doesn't know that Cukunkana has made the decision to leave when Meris does. So he is just going to say, "You have. Would you mind staying here? You can do some good. Yes."
Cukunkana is like deeply conflicted, and it's very obvious on her face.
Yeah,
because she does not know how to hide her emotions.
that's fair.
So she angrily she like glares at the nurse. She casts Healing Word one more time in her last spell slot on whomever needs healing.
There's just some people left, and these are all people who are like the nurse said will be okay. You treated all the mortal wounds except for the person who died.
Yeah, she casts Healing Word one more time, and then extends her Starry Form heal to someone else. So she got a 5 on the one, and she gets a roll of 1, but it's +4, so 5. So I healed 2 more people.
There is significantly less groaning in the room, as the people who were significantly injured, but not to the point of near death.
Cukunkana says out loud. Like she never like speaks out loud. She like if ever she's saying something out loud, it's because she's yelling, because she needs to communicate something immediately, or like she's screaming because she's in danger, and she doesn't really speak out loud. But she says like in like a hoarse sort of voice that like it's obviously a voice that hasn't been used, so she doesn't have like a lot of the muscles associated with talking.
I'm so excited to hear what this sounds like.
I don't know what it's gonna sound like, but she goes, You know what? Like, it's like you don't want these people to get better. I understand that whatever you're going through is hard, but doesn't that mean you should want more help? Doesn't that mean you should let people who are willing to heal your people for free help? Anyway, you're welcome. I'm leaving, and for your sake, I hope no one else dies.
She turns and faces the back of the room, and she says nothing, but she waits for you to leave.
So you can kind of sticks her tongue out at the back of her head and then leaves.
Yeah, I blow smoke out of my nostrils. Follow right behind.
From the back corner of the room, you can hear a small, thank you.
And we out, mic drop, peace.
Boom! And that's the end of the episode.
So good.
All right.
Thank you. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Peace, bitches.
Yeah.
Screw this place. Gee.
Thank you everyone for listening to episode 4 of Tales of Bone and Ice, starring Grimhilde as Cukunkana, Marilyn as Meris Terraset, Candor as Condemned, and myself, Brian Sherwood, as the DM. Music and editing done by Chell Love, with additional editing done by Brian Sherwood. We've been working really hard at delivering the best possible experience for you, and we really appreciate you coming back and listening. If you're interested in having a character named after you in the show, head on over to our Twitter @BonePod and use the hashtag BonePod to have your name slapped onto a character that may or may not die horribly. Thanks again, and remember, diversify your diet and cut down on excessive salt to prevent the development of kidney stones.
There's, back in the East Coast, there's like a petition going on right now where the soda pop companies, I don't know what it's doing, but they're talking about getting rid of like the very popular orange flavored pop that's back there. It's called Siemens Orange Pop. And there's like a fucking outrage in the East Coast right now where they're like, how dare you?
How
like,
dare you take my semen away?
Yeah, don't you take my semen.
Don't you touch my semen.
I was reading it and I was like, what the fuck? Because like I remember like, because I'm from PEI and you had to like drive across the bridge to like go to Moncton to be able to buy any. And now everyone's just like, my Siemens.
Don't touch my Siemens.
Yeah. So there's like a petition
You
right
sign
now.
that semen petition or I'll kill you.
For our listeners, for all of our listeners, please try to Google Siemens Orange Pop and then please sign the petition so that my family can continue to drink it. It's all they live on.
All they live on
the water is terrible.
They drink semen only.
Just orange semen all day. That's why I had to move out west. I was like, guys,
I'm too gay to drink the orange semen. I'm sorry.
They're like, my daughter won't drink the orange semen. Out of here. and that's why I had to leave.
And that is how Marilyn found out that she was gay.
Yeah, that's how my parents found out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, would you like a glass of orange Siemens with this? And I was like, no thanks, I'll have water. And they're just like, what? Get out.